Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Wednesday, the 15th of August, 2018. Time is 10 a.m. here in the UK. You're looking at, well, we're going to switch to a Euro GBP daily chart. Today's analysis, we're going to be looking, hi Steve, we're going to be looking at four price action setups rather, on all these pairs listed here. When I say price action setups, I mean continuations, reversals, all kinds of price action setups. So let's get started. We're also going to talk about yesterday's trades or potential trades, a few of which didn't trigger. The one that did trigger didn't work out, so we're going to have a look at that one. Right, so we're going to kick things off with Euro GBP. Right now, Euro GBP is seems to be in a bearish continuation. It's broken below this support area, come back up, tested it, and is now continuing down. I mean, technically, you could enter a short here. I'm somewhat tempted. Might enter on a bit of a retrace. It's not the cleanest continuation, but there is definitely potential here. Let's keep an eye on this one. I want to do some further analysis on this one because I'd rather enter on a bit of a retrace because I'm not going to get a good risk to reward ratio here on a short trade. But it does look as if it's in a bit of a continuation right now. This is a bit of a new setup that I'm trading. So the rules of it are a bit unclear. I don't even know why I'm bringing it up because I can't really explain all the details of the setup now. So yeah, let's just move on from this one. We can discuss it maybe in the forum and just go from there. Right, GBPAUD. GBPAUD stalling at this resistance area. This looks like it could turn into a tradable setup soon, but right now it's not really turning into a solid setup. We were looking at this one yesterday. It didn't really trigger yesterday. It still hasn't triggered. So let's keep a close eye on this one still. GBPUSD is continuing to head down. I'd watch this support area here on GBPUSD, the 126.30. It's a good support area. It's got some history, pretty strong support area. I'm going to look for a reversal from this area, but right now it's in between support resistance, so there's nothing much going on. AUD/USD yesterday, we were looking for price to stall on top of this support area. Didn't stall, but you know, that's normal. We were just waiting and watching, and it never happened, so we're just going to tick this one off the list. There's nothing happening here right now. I'm looking out for the next support area, which is at 0.7180. EURUSD. EURUSD is still on top of its support area, but it is kind of getting below there. It looks like it's going to continue down. We need a lower support area for EURUSD, actually. It's going to be a bit difficult to get good support areas down here. So that's one of the better ones. There could be one in between. But let's just leave that for now. Let's see what happens as EURUSD starts falling, if it even starts falling. I mean, there is still potential for a bullish reversal here. It could totally happen. If you think about what this candle looks like now, if this candle starts turning around, it could end up looking like a nice little doji or whatever you want to call them, whatever names you have for your candles. It could end up looking like that. Completely, totally possible. So don't rule out the possibility of price stalling out on top of this support area and us seeing a bullish reversal from here. Don't rule that possibility out. But it is starting to dip below, and it looks like sellers or bears are quite strong right now. So it is also possible that it's going to continue down. Basically, what I'm saying is we don't really know what's going to happen with EURUSD right now. This is definitely in a wait and watch period. So let's keep an eye on the support area. Let's see if we see any setups forming tomorrow. Right, New Zealand USD. Now, I entered New Zealand USD yesterday. Or I think it was entered the day before. No, it was entered yesterday. just like, I think it was entered yesterday at like 3 a.m. or something. I can't remember exactly. Point is, this trade obviously didn't work out. I had a plan for this trade. The plan was to get in and out really quickly. I had a tight target. I had a relatively tight stop loss. I would have been extending that target depending on how price pushed up to here. But the plan didn't really work out with this trade. I've got a few emails from people saying, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, every time I share a trade that doesn't work out, I get emails from people telling me what I could have done better. And every time I share a trade that does work out, I get emails from people saying, oh, great job, thank you. I've been trading for quite some time now, and I have my strategy down pretty well. There has been a few changes over the years, and those changes are just kind of improvements to the overall strategy. Trades just sometimes don't work out. I mean, there is no trader that has 100% success rate. Trades just don't always work out. Sometimes I'll get good trades, sometimes I'll get bad trades. So this one was just one of the bad trades. I don't really let stuff like this faze me. I just say, okay, I took a bad trade and move on. If you analyze every single bad trade too much, you're going to start making changes to your strategy based on very little data. The way to do this properly is to record every trade in your trading journal, and then once you have 30, 40, 50 losses to analyze, you can then analyze the similarities between all of your losses. One single loss doesn't matter in trading. Losses can happen for so many different reasons, and you just have to say, okay, moving on, next trade, take another trade. Once you have all those losses that you've taken in your trading journal, you can look at those losses and you can say, okay, what are the similarities between these losses? Are they all happening on cross pairs? Are they all happening with this? Are they all happening with that? Blah, 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 blah. And then you can get an idea of what you need to change in order to improve your strategy, which is why I said my strategy has had changes in the last, 15 years that I've been trading it, because it's constantly being improved. So this specific loss doesn't mean anything. I followed the rules of my strategy. I followed my trading plan and it didn't work out. So this one's just going to be recorded in my trading journal, and it's going to be part of a bigger data set that I use in the future to possibly tweak and improve. But right now, it doesn't really mean anything. Anyway, so long story short, this trade didn't work out. That whole thing was just a response to the emails I got, because I don't want to respond to each one individually. It's just too many people messaging me every day. So respond to everyone in the analysis. Euro JPY is just in between support resistance, not doing much. AUD JPY, broken below the support area. It also could be stalling on. It's similar to what we were looking at with Euro USD, where it kind of got below, but now it's pushing back up. So it's kind of unclear. It looks like it's stuck on the support area, but I don't know. Taking a trade from here, like I said yesterday, would be quite difficult, because the risk to reward ratio is just horrible. I'd want to have a stop loss below the low of this. Let me zoom in. Below the low of this candle, which will just make the numbers really, really difficult with this. So I'm probably not going to do anything there. AUD New Zealand, nothing much going on. Euro AUD, nothing much going on here either, guys, really. It's come back up to this resistance area, but yeah, there's nothing really happening there. Nothing I'd want to trade. EURCAD. Yeah, okay. EURCAD's stalling out on this support. I know it's a little bit below the support area, but this support area is, as you see, pretty wide, because down there there's support. So it's a wide support area. So I'm not going to focus too much on exactly where that's forming. Rather, I'm going to focus on the fact that it is forming. It is stalling out. So let's keep an eye on that. It could develop into a bullish reversal, but right now it's really very unclear, and it's not really anything. This is a daily candle. This candle opened 10 minutes ago. So we are seeing signs of price starting to stall here, because over the last 12 hours, we can see that it's been stalling here. But, you know, still needs some time. So let's keep an eye on EURCAD, but don't get terribly excited there. GBPJPY. What was I doing with this? Why do I have a thing there? I didn't enter a trade here. I can't remember why I put this up though. I think I was... Oh, yeah. Someone asked me about a trade on this one. So I was trying to figure out numbers for them. But yeah, the end result was that it's a bit of a tricky spot to trade in. So I'm not really going to do anything with GBPJPY either. Doesn't look like we're going to get any setups today. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, stuff's just not moving today, guys. No setups. Boring day. But that's fine. Just because there's no setups right now doesn't mean there's no setups coming for the rest of the day. It just means right now there's no setups. There are a few tight ranges happening that you can trade on the 1 hour, 15-minute charts, etc. using the new setups that I've shared with you guys in the analysis in the recent webinar. So do consider that, but other than that, on the higher time frames, there's no imminent setups that are about to trigger, other than GBPAUD, I guess, but that is not really a great one. EURUSD potentially, but it's really not a great one either, because it could still be headed down. And EURCAD, but again, not a great one because the support area is a bit iffy. So yeah, it's a bit of a boring day. But let's see if we can get some trading done on the lower time frames. Any questions, guys? I'm not sure. I haven't really decided yet. This might be a public webinar. Just ask the question, Patrice. It's fine. Yep. Andre, I was in bed when it hit my stop. So I got taken out with the full stop. I might have closed it early if I was up. Probably not though. I mean, there's when you set a stop loss, you have a good, you set the stop loss for a reason, right? If every time price starts to get close to your stop loss, you back out of the trade, you're gonna miss out on a lot of winning trades. Because a lot of the times what happens is price turns around and then it goes like that, right? So you can't just back out if something's moving against you. That's not how trading works. If it was going like this for like a day or two, just bouncing around inside the support area, not hitting my stop loss, but not moving up, then I would probably exit the trade, try to get out at break even or something like that, or with a very minor loss. But this happened quite fast, this turnaround. Fast in the sense of this is a daily chart. So it happened over the course of 17 hours. It wasn't a huge amount of time. It was less than a single daily candle, obviously, because a daily candle is 24 hours. So I'm not just going to back out of a trade because the first daily candle is, well, technically the second one by that point. But you know what I mean. One of the first few daily candles isn't really doing what I want it to do. If you get into that habit, it's going to cost you more money than it saves you. It's going to cost you a lot more money than it saves you. I'm not against exiting trades early when it makes sense to, but because the number one rule in trading is not to make money, it's to preserve your capital, preserve the money you already have. That's the number one rule, in my eyes anyway. So I'm all about preserving capital. But getting out that early is just it's a bit too much. You need to give a trade sometimes, you need to give it time to develop, because we're trading from this support area. So price is at this support area, there's buy orders. So when price is down in this support area, we're looking for a reversal. It could pick up buyers from the support area and start reversing, even if it doesn't reverse as soon as we enter the trade. So I like to give it time. In this case, it hit my stop loss, but yeah, I mean, if I were to exit trades that early every single time, I would definitely lose more than I make. Because a lot of the times you'll get a candle like this, then you'll get a candle like that, and then it'll just go boom, and it'll turn around because the buyers down in this area start buying. And this could still be a reversal. Price could still totally reverse from here. There's nothing saying that price is not going to reverse from this support area on New Zealand USD. I went in with a plan of getting in on a quick reversal. But there was a few risks with this trade, which is why I traded with a smaller percentage risk, because there was some risk in this trade. One of the riskier things with this trade was it's a strong bearish trend. So when you're countering a strong bearish trend, there's always and you're going long, when you're going against the trend, there's always a higher element of risk. So I went into this trade knowing that there was a good chance that it was going to fail and push down. So how do I counter that higher risk? Well, I trade a smaller percentage of my capital. I take less risk on risky trades, essentially. So, yeah, what was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah, so this support area can still hold. It's just I entered pretty early, hoping for a quick spike up and then a continuation down. That's why I had that tight target, because I was hoping for just a quick spike up, boom, and then price continues down. Because overall, I was expecting price to probably continue down, which is why I had that tight target. But obviously, I was hoping for it to push up, which is why I was talking about extending my target. But I had that tight target because I thought this was the most likely scenario. push up, then a fall back down, like we've seen here, you know, like we saw here, like we saw there. I was looking for a push up and then a push back down. Obviously that didn't happen, but price is still on top of the support area. We could still have price completely stall out on this support area, and it could give us a reversal. We just need to wait and see. I know that's a long answer to your question, but I just wanted to explain why I let it hit my stop loss. You know, I might have, if I was watching it closely, I might have treated it a little bit differently, but most likely not. Most likely I would have just let it run. And Patrice, USD Sorry, I went off topic, Patrice, but I just want to answer that question. I mean, yeah, there is definitely potential on the lower time frames to trade USD CHF. Definite potential. Let's discuss this one on the forum, guys, because this is one of those setups that it's one of the new setups that I'm only sharing with members. I'm going to make a forum section for these new setups, because there's a lot of these setups. These setups are very, very common. They happen a lot. So I don't want them in the forum section in which we discuss the higher time frame trades, because I just don't want to mix things up, really. I'd rather have these two things separate, because not everyone wants to trade the 1 hour charts. A lot of people just want to trade the higher time frames, and they're happy with that. So I'll create a forum section for these setups, and we'll go from there. But for now, I guess we can just post it in the normal forum section, just for today, because I haven't created the section yet. But anyway, are there any other questions, guys? So I guess I'll just summarize things while we see if there's any other questions. Today's a bit of a boring day, but we do have some things happening on EURUSD, New Zealand USD still, although they do look like they're pushing down. So let's just keep a close eye on this, see what happens at this support area. Could still very well turn into a reversal, or it could start falling and turn into a continuation. A lot of things can happen with EURUSD, New Zealand USD. GBPAUD, we could look for a reversal from this resistance area. It could happen. It seems to be stalling very heavily at this resistance area. So let's keep a close eye on that. And EURCAD stalling out on top of this support area, but it's an iffy support area, so don't get horribly excited for this one. So yeah, thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you for tomorrow's webinar, which is going to be at the same time.